Hi everyone, I am in my very first live video. I'm so excited. I finally worked out all of the technical kinks and I'm here with you in real life. Very exciting, very exciting. Okay, so today I want to talk with you about being being bolder than you are now, going for life at 100 miles an hour and doing something that's totally out of your comfort zone. Like this. This is my first live video. I have had so many troubles with the technical aspects and how do I do this, and oh, it works on my mobile phone but not on my computer. Strange things, but I've done it. I am Andrea Lorraine Allen. I am from Britain, obviously, or maybe not so obviously, but maybe you can tell from my accent. I have been traveling for years and years and years, doing exciting things like this on the internet. I'm like a 17-year-old boy, such a nerd. Anything computery is just wonderful to me. So that's who I am. My passion is to help women, strong, beautiful, independent women who want to move forward in their lives and make things better for themselves and for their families. It's my passion to help guide those women through difficult times in their lives when maybe they need a little bit of help to get over a bump. Maybe it's the bump of being single for so long that you can't take it anymore. You feel uncomfortable. Maybe it's that bump of being divorced. You thought you were married forever. You'd be growing old together and suddenly you're 42 and he's gone his own way and you've gone yours and you're a single mum and whatever you didn't plan has suddenly happened. Maybe you have difficulties with your children. Maybe you're facing the empty nest syndrome. There are so many maybes that occur in our lives that I think every woman on earth has this sort of thing to deal with. And my passion is to help those women to overcome those difficulties. I've been through a lot of changes myself, and maybe during this time on my Facebook Lives, I'll be going through my own story as well so that you know what's going on there. In this first one, I want to talk about how you can be bolder. Now, before I go on, I want you to remember that please do come and visit me on sesalem365.com. I can be your life coach. You can come and ask me to help talk through certain things with you so that you find the courage to be able to move forward through the changes, the transformations that are coming in your life. That's where you'll find me. That's my digital home, sesalem365.com. And afterwards, I'll add that to the comments so that you know what the link is. I've also got a little graphic, an image of the issues that I'm going to be talking through today, where we're going to be talking about being bolder. So look out for that infographic as well. I will add it to the comments so that you can click on it and download it straight away. So give me 10 minutes or so after my very first Facebook Live. So exciting. And you can go and have a look for that graphic. Okay, so that's who I am. And now let's just talk a little bit. I've got my notes on the computer here. This is interesting. I've got two screens on the go. So on my computer here, I've got my notes and the information about what I want to talk through with you. Now, when we talk about being bolder in life, we need to remember a couple of things. We need to remember, first of all, that sometimes when we're not being bold, we're going through two processes at the same time. One, we're dealing with fear. And that fear may come from a number of different places, but usually it's about fear. I can't be bold and step out and be assertive, not aggressive. We never want to be aggressive, but I can't be assertive with my boss because I'm worried about what he's going to say. I'm scared that I may lose my job. I'm worried that he may think less of me. I'm worried that I may not be put up for that promotion. I'm worried, I'm scared, I'm fearful. So we kind of have to find ways to get over that fear. And I think that's why the book, which I highly recommend, the book Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. That's actually the title of the book. It's a really old book, but it's a standard in the business in the business world. I think that's why that book had so much success. because often we don't. We feel the fear and we feel the fear and we feel the fear forever. But this book was saying, feel the fear, but do it anyway. Find a way to get over your worries. So there's usually some kind of fear going on and some kind of anxiety. And I know they sound like they might be the same thing, but anxiety and fear are two totally different things. So we'll talk about some ways to overcome both your fear and anxiety. First of all, number one, bit of advice number one that I would give you is to do something scary, exciting. Because if you do something really exciting to you, may not be exciting to somebody else, but it may be really scary, really exciting for you, you kind of taught yourself, I did that thing that I've been putting off doing for years and years, for a decade. I'm stronger than I thought. I can do it. And there's a kind of psychological process that goes on in your mind where you think, if I did that one thing that I've been avoiding forever and that really scared the pants off me, I did it, I can do other things that are really scary, really kind of worrisome. I can go ahead and do them. So try doing something that's really scary, exciting, but that doesn't necessarily have an effect, isn't really linked to the real thing that you are concentrating on doing. So if you need to speak to your hubby or your boyfriend about a difficult situation, do something else that's difficult first, that doesn't really have an impact on the main thing that you want to do. So for some women, it may be something as simple as wearing high heels. You've been in boots and flats and sandals for years and years and years. And now you're going out with the girls and you're not going to wear that pretty pair of sandals that you've been wearing for years and years. You're going to try your high heels. You're only going out for a lunch. It's only in the afternoon. That means you only have 2 hours of suffering in the high heels, but you're going to do it. You're going to try it. You're going to walk down the road and feel elegant. So for other people, doing something scary, exciting, maybe bungee jumping. That thing about the flats is actually a personal thing. I lived in flats for so many years because I was traveling. I've been on the road for 13, 14 years. And after about 4 years, I thought, flipping heck, when was the last time I wore a pair of heels? I used to wear them every day. And I hadn't worn them in ages. And it was kind of a big deal. I mean, they're not huge, not earth-shattering, but it was kind of a big deal when I told myself this weekend when I go out, I'm going to wear my heels. And I had to go out and buy a pair. I didn't have any anymore. So it may be a little thing, but it may be bungee jumping. It may be jumping out of an airplane with just a parachute strapped to your back. Or it may even be getting on a plane, giving up your job, getting on a plane and flying to the other side of the world because you've been longing all your life to travel Latin America. And it's just time. And you're taking all of your savings out of the bank and you're just going. So I don't know what your scary thing may be, but do something scary, exciting, that has no relation to the thing you need to do. And then once you've gotten the confidence, do the thing that's really important. Number 2, I want to talk about rolling up your sleeves, but in service of you. Women are givers. We spend hours and hours and hours of our day thinking about other people. We worry about other people. We provide meals for other people. Sometimes they're little people. Sometimes they're grown-ups. Sometimes you might be at that point in life where you're part of the sandwich generation. You're looking after elderly parents. Maybe you have to go to another house in order to take care of them. And you're looking after children as well. And you're sandwiched in the middle. That's a lot of care. That's a lot of your day that's taken up with other people. But sometimes you have to stop and take care of yourselves. So success, yes, it comes from hard work, determination, perseverance, but most of all, it comes from success in any form, comes from saying, I'm going to take the time to do this thing that's important to me. Actually saying, I'm not going to let all of the years go by servicing my husband in his career. I have a career too. Servicing my daughter's university education. I want to go to university too. Servicing, I don't know, my parents' needs. My parents wanted me to be, insert unsuitable career choice here. My parents wanted me to be a teacher. It's a wonderful profession. I've been a teacher in the past. Noble profession. So much admin. those snotty-nosed kids just make you crazy, and you can't deal anymore with the parents who turn up and say crazy things and blame you for their lack of parenting. You see, you can tell I've been a teacher. I know all of the positives when the children learn stuff and it's wonderful, and I know all of the negatives too. But whatever the case may be, it may be time to say that's your dream, that's your desire for me and my life, but it's time to change that. I need to be bold. I need to turn up for myself. I need to roll up my sleeves and get to work on myself. So number one, do something scary, exciting. Number two, roll up your sleeves in service of you. You're not being selfish. You're actually maintaining your life so that you can carry on helping others. It's that old concept of, if you're in a plane that's going down, you put your own gas mask on first. They actually tell you, if you've ever been on a plane, that little lady at the front going, oh, the doors are here, blah, blah, blah. She always says, if there's an emergency, put on your gas mask first if you have children. And they say that because what's the point of placing the gas mask on the child to keep the child safe? And then you pass out because you haven't got enough oxygen. You can't help anybody then. You definitely can't help your child. You have to kind of stop and help yourself first so that you're then in a position to safely help other people in your life. And sometimes you need to roll up your sleeves and make sure that you are able to do that. Okay, number 3, surprise yourself. Surprise yourself. It's fun to exceed your own expectations. So ask, if I were to surprise myself today, ask this question and let your subconscious get working on the question. If I were to surprise myself today, what would I do differently? So it's about doing something different. Our lives meld into each other. Every Monday's the same, every Tuesday's the same, every Wednesday, every Thursday, every Friday. And at the weekend, on Saturday, we clean the whole house. And then we go out with our friends on Saturday evening. And then Sunday, maybe it's church day, maybe it's lying in bed day, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. But we fall into routines in our lives. What are you going to do that is different, that will knock you out of the norm, of the normal? What can you do that's different? Surprise yourself. Let's not worry about who else you might be surprising on the way, who might be calling you saying, flipping heck, you're normally here. What's going on? I have to get my own dinner. We're not worrying about that for now. It's just one day. It's just an experiment. But find some way to surprise yourself. I don't know who you are. I don't know your routine. I don't know what you normally get up to, but try and find something that you really desire, that you love, and just say, right, this Thursday I'm going to go out and do it. I've never done it before. It may be something really simple like going to a night class, which doesn't surprise anybody, or it may be saying, I'm going away for the whole weekend and you'll just all have to fend for yourselves. Don't look for me because it's just me. It may be that you'll actually say, right, I'm having a party. I've been lonely for too long in the house, and often this happens with women. We're very lonely in amongst a whole crowd of people. That's if we have family around us. So saying, I'm still going to be here at home, but I'm bringing my friends to me and I'm having a party, and you all, just like we've been sorting out wonderful sleepovers for the children, I'm going to have a sleepover with my friends. Yes, I am. It's different. It's surprising. It's definitely something that I need because there's something difficult that I have to deal with in the coming week. I need to be bold. I need to be strong. And my friends bolster my confidence. My friends will come over here and tell me, Andrea Lorraine, you can do any damn thing you want. And I need that. I can't get over to Debbie's house. I can't get over to Ruby's house. I've got too much going on here. So I want them all to come to me. I'm inviting them, and I'm going to have a girls' party in my house. If you're single, it may be that you're doing that same party anyway, because normally you just go home, you have lunch, you have dinner, you watch some nonsense on TV, and then you go to bed. Your house is totally quiet. And it's time to change it up. Surprise yourself. Number 4, model yourself on someone you admire. Who do you admire in life? Who do you admire? And the answer may be something surprising to you. Really think about it. Who do you think of that when you think of them, you kind of go, wow, I wish I were like that person. I wish I had that kind of courage. And for some women, yes, it's somebody famous, maybe somebody like Charlize Theron. She's an actress, if you have no idea who she is. She came from abject poverty, from another country, a foreign country. She's South African. She came from abject poverty. I think she used to be homeless or live in a car or something with her mother when they escaped their father. Just a terrible story. And came to America and worked like a dog in order to gain success. And now she's one of the most famous actresses in the world, has pots of money, blah, 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 blah. But she came from a place of real humility and really being down there, and rose up through hard work and through belief in herself and through the belief in her that her mother showed her. That's admirable. Those are qualities that are admirable, very much so. Oprah Winfrey, of course, she has the same kind of story. Find somebody whom you admire. I've mentioned women there, but there may be some guy in your life where you think, wow, the qualities that that person has shown that allowed them to be bold and move forward. I want to emulate those same qualities. I know they're in me, and I want to be able to show those same qualities and have the same kind of results. Some people may say, well, it's my father. He was so strong. He was an immigrant. He did so many things. Or it may be that your father was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, but he didn't let that change him. He was still really grounded, and he made sure that the money that he had was used to better his family, better his community, help people silently without kind of shouting about it in the background. So many different people react in ways that we can admire. Look for your admirable person. Choose one of their qualities and embrace it for yourself. Embolden yourself by thinking about what they've done. I could do the same. Practice expressing it more in your life so that you can embody a new way of being. Yeah, look for that person. Think about that person. Let me ask the question again. Whom do you admire? Number 5, ask for help. Sometimes it's just too much. We've got a new project that we need to take on. We need to get over a difficulty. We need to get something done faster. Be brave and ask for the help that you need. We're very independent in Western society. In Britain as well as in America, we're all about doing it ourselves. I achieved this. I'm able to have everything. Nobody can have everything. It's literally impossible. I mean, it really is. If you have an executive job and a family of 6, and you are Earth Mother to those 6 children, and you are incredibly helpful in the volunteering community, and also you have a beautiful home that's always perfect and always perfectly clean, and you help out with your neighbors, then either you're on the verge of a nervous breakdown, or you're lying. No, for real. If I'm wrong, I beg of you, please put in the comments, shut up, Andrea, that's a load of nonsense. I do all of those things and more. Please let me know, because I want to call you to get some tips. Maybe I'll write a blog post about you, because I think you're unique. Nobody can have it all. We have all that we want in life, but in parts. First, we concentrate on the children, we build a beautiful home, we build a career, but nobody has all of those things, an amazing career, and I'm a millionaire, and I have my 6, 7 children, and I have a fabulous home, and I, at the age of 23. It's really not possible. There are maybe 3 people that I know who have actually done that, but they kind of had a lot of help. I mean, they really did. I do know of people who have achieved that, but yeah, there's a whole story of a whole army of people coming in to help them achieve the bits that they couldn't manage themselves. Ask for help. If you need help with the children, ask for it, look amongst family, pay for help, whatever needs to be done. If you need help with a particular project at work, and I've been in the corporate world, I know what it means to have a project that's huge and overwhelming and requires hours and hours of research and will affect whether or not you are promoted or not, and you really want that promotion, you need that promotion, you need the extra money that it's going to bring in. And also, your boss is watching you really closely to see how you do with this project. It's a special project that he or she gave to you. And also, it is due in the day after tomorrow. I can't. Ask for help. You may need to speak to your boss and say, look, you have unrealistic expectations of what I'm doing here. If you go to your boss and you are really assertive, not aggressive, I repeat, not aggressive, but you're assertive, not timid. Assertive, it's somewhere in between the two, where you explain clearly what the issue is, and you ask for the help that you need. They're almost certainly going to give it to you because they probably want to see your success as well. It will reflect on how their bosses see their success as a manager, and also they probably need the project too. So if you go to your boss and you say, look, I've thought about this, try this as a technique. I used to use this all the time with my ex-crazy bosses. I use this technique a lot. It really works. When you go to your boss, you say, I have an issue. I have considered 3 possible solutions. Please help me in selecting the best one, the one that you think will work best for our department. It's so good. If you work out 3 solutions to a problem and you're happy with every one of those 3 solutions, you go to your boss, they can choose any one of them, and you're already happy with it. It's already passed, your test for what works, how much time you can give to it, and so on and so forth, because you selected those solutions. Your boss will love you because they don't have to think. They don't have to work out, oh my goodness, I've got a problem here, and I've got a worker who's not doing this thing, and now I have to think of a solution. I've got too much stuff on my plate, because you came to them with 3 solutions. They don't have to think, they just have to read through them. Solution B, go do it. Okay, no problem. So if you have an issue, ask for help. If the house is becoming overwhelming, ask for help or pay for help. You need help at work, ask your co-workers, speak to your boss. Stop being timid. Don't be aggressive. It won't get you what you want, it just won't. Somewhere in the middle is being assertive, being bold, and actually saying, right, things need to change. And just being really practical and upfront and saying things need to change. That's being bold. So let me see. Number 6, simplify to boost your energy. Boldness actually takes up a lot of energy in you, because you're not just dealing with the changes that your boldness, your bold step, your bold move, your bold ask is going to take up. It's not just that energy, it's all the emotional energy that you use beforehand, thinking about it, worrying about it, working out how I'm going to do the... Boldness takes energy, physical energy and emotional energy. So what can you simplify in other areas of your life so that you can conserve the energy you need for this bold move? What can you simplify? Things that you need to let go of in life. It may be something, an action of some kind. It may be something in the work arena. It may be actual things. So I'm a person, I used to be such a clutterbug. I mean, it was like a problem. I mean, it really was a problem. I had 1,000 books on my bookshelves in the living room, and I had stuff and twinkly lights and all kinds of nonsense in my bedroom, and I had people who sucked out my energy. I cluttered a lot physically and emotionally. And when I went traveling 13 years ago, this was after my mother had died. I'd been taking care of her for 10 years. She'd had 4 strokes. She was being fed by a tube through her stomach. It was all dreadful. Anyway, after she died, I was all sad and weepy, life is so terrible, and now I'm all alone, and my sisters have left, and it's just me in the house, and I was so sad and tragic. Even the cat ran away, flipping heck, I was just terrible. But I kind of woke up one day, it was 2 years later, I'd been speaking to a life coach, little Jenny, I remember her, really strong woman, and she coached the hell out of me. And Jenny said this and this and this and this and this. Everything fell into place. That was when I fell in love with life coaching and decided to start doing the training myself. Everything fell into place, and I divested myself of all of that clutter. I didn't sell the books, actually. I brought them to Goodwill, I think the Americans call it, a Goodwill store. I brought them to a secondhand store and said, sell these and bring in funds in order to help the homeless, in order to help little children who are ill. So much good feelings. It was wonderful. And I no longer had 1,000 books that I was worrying about that cluttered up the whole of the living room. And I had helped other people. There are certain steps that you can take in order to declutter elsewhere in your life. Take away some of that emotional energy that you're using on that area. And remember, it may be in lots of different areas. For me, it was physical stuff because I was a clutter bug. For other people, it's going to be emotional clutter. For some people, it may be to do with actions at home, actions at work. Get rid of it. Life is too short. I am just emptying my head of worrying about this stuff so that I can concentrate on what's really important, the thing that I need to be bold about when I wake up tomorrow morning. Declutter, simplify so that you can boost your energy. Number 7, do it differently. Stand out from the crowd. You may have an idea for doing this bold thing that you are facing, but maybe you have a great idea for how to do it better. And now is the time to articulate that idea. So you're doing something really bold, really strong, really out there, but you're kind of, oh, I'm so scared, I'm so worried, I don't know. Will I be able to do it? Will I be able to do it? Don't just do it the way that everybody else is telling you to do it. If you know you can do it a better way, because maybe that's creating part of your anxiety. It's going to take 3 days, this bold step, and you know it could only take 1 if you did it a slightly different way. Speak up. Speak up. Life is short. It's going to be 3 days out of your life instead of 1. Now is the time to speak. Maybe you can do it faster. Maybe you can do it more cleanly. Maybe you can do it more easily. Maybe you can do it for a cheaper price. Speak up so that you can save your time, your energy, and other people's time and energy too. Strategize, share, and implement your ideas with other people. Do it differently. Number 8, think less and do more. There are so many areas in life where this kind of could be our mantra. Think less, use your brain less, and just do it. If you're procrastinating over difficult or larger tasks or decisions, and I've talked about this a lot, procrastination, talk about it in another video. Scroll back in my on my wall in Facebook and you'll find, or Facebook or LinkedIn, you'll find information about procrastination. But anyway, if you're procrastinating over your bold task that seems kind of difficult or it's really huge, break it down into chunks and just get started. Break it down into small pieces so that the piece seems so tiny, it's just getting a piece of paper and making notes. That's all you have to do. Get a sheet of paper and start making notes. That's all. Eventually, it will become the entire project that you want to start. It will become your new business. It will become, asking for that extra money that you need from the bank. But for now, for today, the only step you have to take is to get a piece of paper or get one of these cards. I have millions of these cards all over the house. Little cards, A4 size, that I make notes on. I have a brilliant idea. In the middle of the night, I write it down on a card, write it down on a card. I have these all over the place. That's all that you have to do. That's a small step. Then once you have everything written down on a small piece of card, you're going to take the first item, you're going to work on that. So you're chunking, you're making things into teeny tiny chunks in order to work on the whole. It's like that old joke, how do you eat an elephant? Because an elephant is huge. That's a pretty big meal. How do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. 1 teeny tiny bite at a time. And you never think about the entire elephant, you just concentrate on your one little bite. Okay, so if you're thinking too much, you're too much in your head, this thing is huge, this thing I want to do is massive, this is a really bold move and I'm scared, don't do that. Don't catastrophize, stop that right now. Or catastrophize for 10 minutes and then move on. Yeah? So don't do that. Concentrate on your one small bite, your one little piece of the puzzle. Finding your little piece of card and writing down what needs to be done. That's all. Easy peasy. Think less, do more. Number 9, connect to your values. And this is a very important one. Your values, oops, excuse me, dropped you there. Your values are really the really important things that are in your life. The things that are important to you. Oops. The things that are important to you, like family, having family values, having being married, maybe you have certain values to do with, let me think, maybe you have certain values to do with what is right and what is wrong. Maybe you have certain political values. Now, knowing what your values are is kind of a lifelong journey. I mean, some of your values, you know them just instinctively. They're values that your parents have instilled in you. So you know that studying is really important, and you'll spend your life always with your nose buried in a book every evening because you want to learn more, you want to know more. You spend a lot of time on the internet, so learning more is a really important value to you. Maybe so obviously that's linked to the question of education. So just knowing what these deep values are is important and will help you to make the steps forward that you need. I have certain, the reason I'm pausing because this is such a huge subject, but in my life coaching that I do with my clients, I have a whole section in the life coaching processes where I try and find out my clients' values before we move forward on certain exercises, because it may be that we do an exercise and they just come to a full stop because they're like, I don't believe that. That doesn't feel authentic to me. That doesn't feel right. That's not me. It doesn't gel with their life values. So we need to find out what the life values are before we can move forward. So if you have a good connection in your head with what your values are, and there are certain values that everybody shares, don't murder. Not everybody, but the vast majority of people will say, yeah, that's a really important thing to not do in your life, because we know that killing is wrong, blah, blah, blah. I'm talking about the fine details of your life, of your home, of the way that you function at work. If you know what those values are, it's much easier to be bold when you're deeply connected to your values. So knowing it's the right thing for you and trusting in yourself, that all helps you to be able to take those bold steps that you need to. When you can trust that you are doing something that is in line with your values, when you feel authentic doing that bold thing, you can say, man, I can sleep better tonight because I know I did the right thing. That will help you to be bold. If you're doing something that you feel uncomfortable with, it's really hard to take that first step. If you're doing something that you think, I don't know that I would want my children to see me doing this. I mean, I'm doing it because maybe I'll have more money, maybe this, maybe that, whatever the reason may be that you're taking the bold step. But I don't want anybody to know. Yeah, you need to rethink that bold step. You need to rethink it, even if it's going to bring you more money or maybe even more joy in that moment. If you feel you have to do it in secret because it doesn't gel with your values, you feel uncomfortable, you feel unhappy that people would know you've done this thing, not because it's so amazing, but because it's kind of a little bit scuzzy or it doesn't really fall in line with my religious values. Maybe if you're religious, whatever the case may be, rethink it. Find a different way perhaps to do what needs to be done. And finally, number 10, and perhaps the most important thing, you are a totally awesome person. Let me repeat that. You're a totally awesome person. So you alone have your unique blend of number 1, skills, number 2, knowledge, number 3, experience, and number 4, passions. You're the only person who can take that bold step in your own way and do it wonderfully well. Be wise in using your skills, your passion, your experience, and your knowledge. Take the bold step. There are other people who are waiting for you to move forward and do something amazing. You want to start a new business that you know is going to help people, that you know is going to lift people up, that you know is going to give people jobs, that you know is going to bring in more money to help maintain and lift up your family, that you know is going to help take the pressure off your husband and bring you joy. Yeah, you kind of need to do it because nobody else can do it. You're the only person in your position, with your experiences, who knows all of these people. It's time to share. It's just time to be bold and step up. So yes, remember, because this will help you to take that bold step, remember that you're awesome. I believe in you. I'm sure many other people believe in you. Stop being so nice. Especially as women, we're told that it's really nice to not speak up, to not speak out, to not put ourselves forward, to let others go before us, to talk ourselves down rather than talk ourselves up. We're told that that is a nice way. Oh, you're such a lovely lady. You were so humble. And there's a way of being humble, but getting the job done. The Bible actually talks about humility a lot, and Jesus was the most humble of them all. But he got the job done. Get the job done. Be bold, woman. You're awesome. Okay, so those are your 10 tips for being bold. Please let me know. Give me feedback. Tell me of bold moves that you've made in the past, because I mean, number 1, I love to read them, they're kind of for me, but number 2, you may help somebody else who's reading the comments here. So whether you're on this live now or not, because it's my first Facebook live, I've not gotten my act together in terms of being able to see comments of people who are there. So if there's anybody there, hello, I'm so glad you joined me. But if there's nobody there, that's okay. I know that in the future people will be finding this video and they'll be adding their comments to it. So please tell me, what amazing and bold move have you made in the past that kind of made you surprised yourself and you thought, oh, I did better than I expected. I did something totally unexpected and I did it so well, and I'm really proud of myself actually. Let me know what those bold moves were. If you're still holding back, being timid, being invisible, if you're still holding back, being a nice girl, as we've all been there, I promise you. The boldest woman in here has been through that process of being very nice first before making the bold move. We've all been there, so there's no shade. We're not putting you down. You're just not ready yet to take that step forward. But if you're still being timid and holding back instead of being bold, let me know what you want to do. Because if you give me a suggestion, maybe in the future Facebook Live, I'll actually address it and we'll talk about it. Okay, so let me know what it is you want to do. Let me know what amazingly bold things you've done and how it all worked out for you. I want to read those. And lastly, please remember to come and visit me at cecellum365.com. Remember that I can help you to work through whatever your amazingly bold move is that you want to make. I am a transformational life coach. I help women who are in this position all the time. I've worked with a lot of people. I first trained in counselling at university. Oh, I'm so old, 22, 25 years ago. Oh, my maths is rubbish. A long time ago. and in life coaching back in 2007. Anyway, come and visit me. I very much hope you've enjoyed my first Facebook Live. Yay! So exciting. And I'll see you tomorrow. This is a series. I'm going to be keeping this up for 30 days. This is my bold move, my challenge to do a Facebook Live every damn day between now and 30 days. Hold me to it. Keep me accountable. See you tomorrow. God bless you.